Bam! Ervits assessment. All right, we're back this week. All right, we're going to talk about UFC Fight Night, Moraes versus Sandhagen. Remember, I went over 3 fights. I got 1 right, 2 wrong. It was another bad week, so hopefully this week I'll do better. All right, so the first fight I'm going to talk to you guys about was not something that I had mentioned earlier. The reason why I have to bring this up is that I've been watching combat sports for a very long time. This knockout has to be one of the most, I don't know, I can't even explain it. That's how crazy this knockout was. It was Joaquin Buckley against Impa Kasanagay. I hope I'm saying it right. Joaquin Buckley delivers probably the most vicious knockout I've ever seen. I'm not even just going to describe or anything. I'm just going to let you guys watch it so you guys can see it for yourself. Wow, my mind is blown. Now back to the predictions. So the first fight I had went over was in the heavyweight division. It was Ben Rothwell against Marcin Tybura. Now remember, I guys picked Ben Rothwell to win that fight. And I thought it was going well for me in the first round because Rothwell was throwing a bunch of punches. I mean, he threw over 120 punches in that round, which is a lot for a big heavyweight. But I think he started getting tired. He was getting tagged a little bit too. In the second round, Tybura started taking over, and he looked like the more fresher fighter. So he hit Rothwell with some good shots, and then in the third round, he takes Rothwell down, hits him with some good ground and pound there. So he won the last 2 rounds, wins by unanimous decision. So got that one wrong. So the second fight I'm going over, which is the one I got right, was Edson Barboza against Makwan Amirkhani. So remember, I had picked Barboza to win, and he looked good. In the first round, they both were doing pretty good on the stand-up, but you could see Barboza had the edge. In the second round, this is where you can see he starts taking over. He drops Amirkhani twice, and then in the third round, Amirkhani takes Barboza down, doesn't really do anything. They get back up, and he gets dropped again. And so it was just a clear, unanimous victory for Edson Barboza. I think this is great for him. He needed that fight back because he was on a 3-fight losing streak. He's number 14 ranked. Might push him up maybe 1 or 2 spots. But he called out somebody in the top 10 in the featherweight division. I'd like to see him fight someone in the top 10 division. I think maybe now he's starting to settle in to the division now. Again, his first fight was really close. Could have went either way. But we'll see what happens next for him. And the main event was, remember, it was the 2 top guys in the bantamweight division. So you had number 1 ranked Marlon Moraes versus number 4 ranked Corey Sandhagen. Now, I remember I had picked Marlon Moraes to win. So first round, both guys were landing shots. Moraes you could see more power behind it, but Sandhagen's were a little bit snappier, quicker, had some good combos. And in the second round, I don't know if Sandhagen hit Moraes with a punch or a kick, but you could see all of a sudden Moraes' eyes just start swelling up a little bit on the bottom. And Sandhagen's like, hey, I broke your orbital bone. I broke your orbital bone. And after that, he throws this nice spinning wheel kick, drops Moraes, gets on top of him, boom, boom, ref stops it, Moraes is hurt, done, fight over. What a victory for Sandhagen. He needed that. Remember, he got taken out by Aljamain Sterling a few months ago relatively quickly, so a good way to rebound for him there. I think depending on how Petr Yan versus Aljamain Sterling goes for the belt, I think if Yan wins, I think Sandhagen might get the next shot. If Sterling wins, I don't know, because he just beat Sandhagen. He might have to beat one more guy. Sandhagen might have to beat one more guy to get Sterling. But either way, this should put him up into the, I think, number 2 position, because I think number 1 will then be Sterling. Bumps it up, but that was an impressive victory. And he's young, and he's getting better. He's somebody to watch out for, definitely, that division. All right. So now we're going to go over UFC Fight Night. Brian Ortega against the Korean Zombie. Yes, that's the name he goes by. It's his nickname, of course. So I'm going to go over 3 fights for you guys on that fight card, all right? So the first fight I'm going to be going over is going to be in the women's flyweight division. It's number 1, Caitlin Chookagian against, she's second ranked in the strawweight division, is Jessica Andrade. She's moving back up to flyweight. So Chookagian, she won her last fight against Valentina Shevchenko's sister, unanimous decision. She lost to Valentina Shevchenko, remember, for the belt. They had a title fight. She lost. So I guess she got some kind of revenge for beating her younger sister up. While Jessica Andrade's on a 2-fight losing streak. So you remember in the strawweight division, she had the belt. She won from Rose Namajunas. So she lost to Weili Zhang relatively quickly. Then she had a rematch with Rose Namajunas. She lost that fight. So I guess she decided, hey, let me move back up. So that's what's going to happen there. She is a smaller fighter. She's giving up a reach advantage. But I am going to pick her to win. I think she can do it. I think actually it would be good for her if she can win, because if she beats the #1 ranked fighter, that might put her up there and maybe give her a title shot against Shevchenko. So that'd be interesting there. So I'm going to pick Andrade for that one. Second fight I'll go over, which is the co-main event, will be in the men's heavyweight division. It's number 12 ranked Cyril Gain versus newcomer Ante Delija. Now, Gain is undefeated. He's only 6-0, but he's undefeated. For Delija, this is his first fight in the UFC. I mean, he's relatively unknown. He's been fighting in Europe most of his time. So, sometimes those guys can be kind of tricky there. But I'm going to go with Cyril to win that fight. So that'll be my second prediction there. And maybe they'll bump him up a spot. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens there. And the main event is going to be in the men's featherweight division. It's going to be number 2 ranked Brian Ortega against number 4 ranked Korean Zombie. So Ortega has not fought since end of 2018. He took a beating in that last fight. It was a title fight against then champion Max Holloway, and Max Holloway destroyed him for 5 rounds. I mean, Ortega was battered, beat up, and everything. He was going to come back sooner, then he got injured a couple of times, so he's just had a long delay. So maybe it was good for him after the beating he took. While Korean Zombie fought last year, he beat Frankie Edgar by TKO in the first round. So for him, and now the reason why there's bad blood there is there's been a little bit back talking by Ortega, but Korean Zombie, so they were at an event, all of them, and Korean Zombie had his friend with him who's a K-pop singer, and I guess when Korean Zombie went out for drinks, or I don't even know where he went, to the bathroom or something, Ortega smacks this guy. Now, why would he do it? I don't know. I guess there was some wordage he said, but again, why would you hit somebody who's not a professional fighter when you are a professional fighter? Like, it's just kind of odd. And then he did it, of course, when Korean Zombie wasn't there. So Korean Zombie wants to make him pay for that. I think he will make him pay for that. I think he's going to win that fight. And I think if he wins that fight, or actually whoever wins this fight, I think we'll get the next title shot against Volkanovski, who's the champ, because Volkanovski already beat the Max Holloway twice, who's the #1 ranked guy. So it doesn't make sense for them to run it back a third time. So I think the winner of this fight will get that title shot. All right. Now that will conclude UFC talk for me. Now, what I'm really excited for next weekend is in boxing. Now I told you guys I'd do a boxing assessment for you guys, so I will. So this is going to be in the lightweight division. It's going to be my favorite fighter from the Ukraine, as you can see why I'm wearing the shirt, Vasiliy Lomachenko, who's the WBA and WBO champion, and he's the WBC franchise champion, whatever the hell that means. I'll go into that a little bit. I don't really understand it. And he's going to be fighting against up-and-comer, young, rising star. This guy's really somebody to watch out for. He's only 23 years old. He's from New York, but he's Honduran as well. His name is TEOFIMO Lopez. Now, Lopez is 15-0, has 12 knockouts. This guy has devastating power. He's quick. He's measured. He's got power. So he's somebody really dangerous for Lomachenko. Lomachenko, this is his third division he's a champion in. He was a featherweight champion, super featherweight champion, and he's the lightweight champion now. So he's a smaller guy. He's quick. He doesn't have that one-punch KO power like Lopez does. But it's kind of going to be kind of like a chess match, because Lomachenko's not going to want to stand in front of Lopez, because Lopez has power and he can hurt people, and that's how he won the IBF belt in his last fight against Richard Comey, who was the champ, in the second round. I mean, he knocked him down. Boom! You could see he wasn't hurt. He was hurt. He didn't fully recover. He just gets on. Lopez just goes after him. Boom! 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 Hits him with punches. The ref has to stop it. Becomes the IBF champ. Lomachenko got his belt. Got the WBA belt by beating Jorge Linares, bigger guy, by TKO, and then he got the WBO belt by beating Jose Pedraza by unanimous decision to win that belt. He won his last fight by unanimous decision against Luke Campbell. So you know, that's it's again. He's getting I feel like he's, you know, warming up to the lightweight division, but he's going to be the smaller guy. So the keys for him is not to stand in front. He's got to move. He has quick feet. He's got good movement. He's got to throw good punches. I would suggest going to the body against somebody like Lopez, who is the bigger guy, who's also kind of fast. But remember, he's got to get in and out, because he doesn't want to get caught. I am going with my heart, but then I think also a lot of people are picking Lomachenko to win this fight. I'm going to have Lomachenko winning this fight by unanimous decision. I hope he can win by TKO because Lopez, him and his dad have been running their mouths so much. I hate when fighters do that. They've been talking about early knockout, 1 second round. I don't see that happening. I mean, Lopez can win. He's definitely dangerous. If he does win, I could see maybe being a late round TKO, but I don't think that early, like they're saying, in a second round or third round. I don't see it happening unless Lomachenko just completely underestimates him, which I don't think he will. So I have Lomachenko winning. Again, most people have him as the #1 pound-for-pound ranked guy. This will be they'll be unifying the titles. Again, that WBC franchise champion, I don't even know what that means because the WBC belt is held by Devin Haney. So what does that all mean? I don't really know. So it's going to be for the WBA, WBO, and the IBF titles. So it's going to be a huge fight. I'm excited because the UFC card should end right in time for boxing to start. So that'll be great. So you guys remember. So my 4 fights I'm going over: 3 in UFC, 1 in 1 in boxing. I'm going to be picking Jessica Andrade, Ciryl Gane, Korean Zombie, and Vasiliy Lomachenko in boxing. Alright guys, this is Ervits Assessment. If you guys could always please like, comment, and subscribe, and share, I greatly appreciate it. Peace!